Okay, so the question is asking you about the difference between present perfect and past simple. And okay, yeah, keywords are very important when yeah, it's always a very good idea. It's really nice to do that. It is useful because especially when looking at the difference between present perfect and past simple, you need to be a detective. You need to find the word or the words in the sentence that that show you what is right, that point you in the right direction. So we're looking not at the space, but at the words around the space. So your answer was somebody turned on the hi-fi. I can hear it. hmm why did you choose that? That's okay. You're you're right. It is possible to say somebody turned on the Wi-Fi. Hi-fi, Wi-Fi. Say Wi-Fi for. Sorry, I'm reading words that are not there. Somebody turned on the hi-fi. I can't. Sorry. I can't. I can hear it. Um, that's actually okay as as two sentences together. But that is not what the book is testing. The book is testing the idea that you can connect something in the past to something in the present. So if the first sentence, if the focus of the first sentence is the past, but the focus of the second sentence is the present, and they are connected, then we have a connection from the past to the present. Remember that present perfect, perfect means before, and present is now. So present perfect means before now, but with a connection to now. And so clearly you're right. If you focus only on the first sentence, it's in the past. You're absolutely right. But if you look at the second sentence, I can hear it. The focus of that is now. And so you have a past action with a present result. Not a past result, but a present result. And in this situation, the most natural tense to use is the present perfect because we are connecting the past activity to the present situation. Someone has turned on the hi-fi. I can hear it. So you have to take both sentences together rather than the first sentence individually to answer the question. Does that make sense? You are not wrong. It happens in the English language, and probably in other languages, that there is more than one possibility sometimes. It depends on the context, the whole context of the situation. Obviously, if there is a question in one tense, the answer should be in the same tense. So if there's a question in present perfect, there should be an answer in present perfect. But in this situation, you are asked to create the question. And so you also don't have any context. So it is not possible to make a clear choice about what exactly is the right tense to use because you don't have enough information here. So let's check the situation here. If we use the past, no, what happened? She had an accident. She was running for a bus when she fell down and broke her leg. So if you use past simple in the question, then you can use past simple, past simple, past simple in the answer, and that's perfectly okay. If you use present perfect in the question, know what has happened. She has had an accident. So if you use present perfect in the question, then that means we need to use present perfect in the answer, in the first part of the answer. So as long as you are consistent with your use of tense, as long as you don't mix the tenses in the questions and answers, you should be okay. Yeah, and there's not enough context there to make a clear choice between one or the other. The principle that the book is trying to teach is the principle of new news. Yeah, this is the principle of new news and new information. And with this principle of new news, something happened, but it is important now. And that principle in that context is one of the reasons for using present perfect, the principle of new news. If you think about television or radio or internet news program, when they give you the very first information at the beginning of the program, before they go into the story of what happened, when they give you the very first information, they want it to sound important. They want it to impact. They want it to hit you. And so, here is the news. The president of El Salvador has visited Venezuela. The lead singer in the world famous rock band has died of a drug overdose or something. And so the very first information they give is in the present perfect. I said has visited, has died, because they want it to sound really immediate and important when they present it. Then when they go into the story, they use past simple and past continuous. And maybe past perfect. Good observation. It is everything that is not natural or not usual for us is strange. And so each language has at least one function which is unusual for us, and so a little bit strange. It's just part of the set of rules that we have to learn. And that's it. Okay, the mistake between the third answer and the fourth answer is you mixed the tenses. You were not consistent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're saying. She was running for a bus when she fell, and okay. I see where the problem is. Let me draw a little picture for you. The problem is the context of the situation. What is the context? And the context is, where are we? The context is was running. So that gives us she was running. And then we want to talk about something in here. Okay, remember was running. Past, present, future, right? So was running gives us our time frame. We then want to talk about what happened in the middle of this. Yeah? Okay. So there's no connection to the present because we've framed the time in the past. You are absolutely right that there is a connection with now. The only problem is that the connection with now is not in the text. It's in your head. Right? You are adding in to the text. This is a classic mistake that good students make, where you put into the text extra information which is not actually there. Because you are a thinking student, you think that he broke his leg, so at the present moment it is still broken, right? Yeah, well, that's not in the text, right? But your answer is correct for your thoughts, but you are adding into the text extra information which isn't there because the text has no information about now. So try where possible to focus on just the information that is within the text. This is especially true if you do a test or an exam. And classic mistakes come when you do an exam and there's a reading text and it's about a subject that you really like. So you know more about the topic. And automatically people who read a topic where they know more, they put in extra information which is not there. And very often they make mistakes when they answer the questions because their answers are true and correct, but they are not just from the language that is in the text that they are given. So, does that make sense? Yeah, okay. You don't like it, but it makes sense. So that's understandable. That's understandable. So if the first part of the sentence contains this past continuous, then that creates a frame for where the next activities will be. Frame. What goes around a picture? What do you call that in Slovak? Ramok? Oh, I don't. Yeah? I know. Hey, okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm confusing you. Yeah. Yeah, so that's frame. Yeah. That's okay. I spoke in Slovak, so I changed the language. I just thought that's the easiest way to solve the problem. So, yeah, the tense is a frame for the time in the sentence. And so when the first tense is past continuous, this is the frame. I drew a round frame. It could be a square frame, but that's the frame for the period of time that we are talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people who learn the language naturally, organically, just through listening to people, and that's how a lot of native speakers or people who don't speak a language and then move to the country and learn just from listening to people there, they know what's right, but they can't explain it. And it sounds really strange, but it's actually perfectly normal because we do this all the time, every day. We drive a car, but we don't know how the parts work. We use a computer, but we don't know how the internal mechanisms function. That stuff really confuses me. I'm like these computers are fantastic, but I don't really understand how I can send this video from here to there, or where the information gets stored, or something like that. I just always amazes me with those things. So yeah, we live through processes rather than mechanics. We do things like you can walk. We walk all the time, but we don't consciously think about the mechanics that are happening as we walk. We don't think left foot, right foot, muscles, bones, fight against gravity. We don't think like that because the brain needs to be a bit more free to be creative. Well, yeah, absolutely. That's what we do with children and babies, and um, I guess that's also what a language teacher does with language as well. Makes the little corrections where necessary to help the person. It's more orientation than learning. It's saying go in this direction and you will be okay. We don't tell you exactly what to say and when to say it. We give you the basic rules, and you then take the basic rules and apply that in your life as logically as you can. It's how we learn anything, really. So, do you have any other grammar questions? No other grammar questions. Okay. Can we look a little bit at what you did in the last 2 weeks in your planner there?